they did recently release their rankings 1 through 32 of every starting quarterback in the NFL with a little bit of a write-up on them as well. So, of course, we're going to take some time on this thing, man. And we're going to see what they got to say about the gang. More importantly, about our guy and where they have him ranked at. So, with that being the case, my dog, if you are ready, man, let's go ahead and have a little fun.
All right, I'm just going to rattle through these.
Yes, indeed.
They got 1, Patrick Mahomes. 2, Josh Allen.
Who's that 2?
3, Joe Burrow.
Hold on. Who said
4,
2?
Justin Herbert.
You said Josh was 2?
5, Aaron Rodgers. 6, Lamar Jackson. 7, Jalen Hurts. 8, Trevor Lawrence. Wow, Jalen Hurts is low. That's really low. Oh, my God. 9, Kirk Cousins. 10, Dak Prescott. Oh, it gets worse. 11, Tua. 12, Matthew Stafford. I don't know. Where do you put Stafford? Is he done?
If he's healthy,
you give him respect for the Super Bowl for sure.
If Stafford's healthy, right now I put him in front of Tua, slightly behind Dak. I think I might have him in front of Dak. I'm like right on the fence with him and Dak. I'm right on the fence.
If he's healthy, I have him over all 3 of those guys.
Okay,
not even a question. Over Tua, Dak, Kirk.
No, because I like Dak though, man. I like him, but I have him like right in that.
Yeah,
range.
Stafford's a weird one because you're like, all right, is he done? Like, did that injury do him in?
I like Hurts. I like Lawrence. I like Cousins over Stafford right now.
So I guess what I'm saying is like that's why I asked it. Did they have him too high? Actually, should he be lower? But yeah, I think it's about right.
I feel like with Tua at 11, right. I like Stafford over Tua. Both of these dudes been banged up last year.
Tua should be like 30.
Okay, I was just like I'm not a fan of Tua at 11. Like I don't like that.
No, he should be high 20s or maybe 30.
Oh yeah, y'all hit that like button one time too while we in here, man. I do see y'all extra chunky in the views, man. So yeah, definitely hit that like button one time for the coaches. Subscribe if you have not done so just yet. Either baby.
So Stafford was at 12, Deshaun Watson at 13, Derek Carr 14, okay. Geno Smith at 15, Jared Goff at 16.
Hey, that's $100 million Geno, man. Can you put some respect on $100 million Geno? They rolled him off, he ain't right back. Just remember that.
He had a good season.
And he got a quotable. Not just a good season, he has a quotable. You have to have something to go with it.
That one will probably last a while.
It will.
Daniel Jones at 17, Justin Fields at 18, Tannehill at 19, Russell Wilson at 20, the fall from grace. Mac Jones at 21, and your quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Kenny Pickett at 22.
Hey now.
And then Brock Purdy at 23.
Oh, this is getting spicy.
Jimmy G at 24.
I like this.
Bryce Young at 25. Ooh. Jordan Love at 26. Sam Howell 27. Okay. Baker at 28.
Dang.
Oh my God! I just don't have Colt McCoy higher than these rookies. I'm sorry. They've got Colt McCoy at 29. Yeah, C.J. Stroud at 30. I'd take C.J. Stroud all day over Colt McCoy. I don't even need to see him play. I'll take Anthony Richardson over Colt McCoy.
That is funny.
So they got Stroud at 30, Desmond Ridder 31, Richardson at 32 to close it out.
That is funny, bruh. Who'd you say was number
Colt
2?
Colt McCoy is 32.
Who was number 2 again? Like, was that top 5?
I don't gotta go over it again.
I was trying to remember it. I can remember you said it was like Mahomes and
I don't gotta say it again.
What?
I was clear.
Don't be weird, bro.
I was crystal clear.
I don't remember the name. You named 30-something quarterbacks right there, bro. I just forgot who was the second one you said, bro. It was Mahomes. Who was that guy you said? Who was the all right. What team did he play for? What conference? Is it AFC or NFC?
He's in the AFC.
AFC.
I'll say that.
AFC North.
I'm done. I'm done giving hints. You're going to have to watch back. You're going to have to play it back like some of the other people in the chat that can't catch the live.
Fair enough.
That Jalen Hurts ranking is really disrespectful, though.
So where would you have him at, though?
I don't know if I want to reveal my rankings just yet. I'd have him up a few spots.
No, I'm just saying like loosely.
I'd have him up a few spots for sure.
Okay. Now, when you're saying up, you're saying towards like Herbert, Rodgers, Burrow, or the other direction?
Oh, yeah. Going up in the good direction, yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like that's way too low for the season he had.
Fair.
And like, you got to see certain things too.
Yeah.
You saw what he did in the regular season. It's like cool. And this is how I felt about Mahomes, too. It's like, all right, he went off 50 touchdowns, MVP season. But what do you do in winning time? What do you do in the big moments? Like, Hurts showed me something in that Super Bowl.
No, he definitely did, man.
That was really impressive.
So, has Hurts showed you more than what Lamar has showed you already?
I'd take Hurts over Lamar, yeah.
Over Aaron Rodgers.
If you're doing a little projection going into 2023 as well. Like, who do you want? Who do you want for 2023? Obviously, he's not better than Aaron Rodgers all time.
But if we're talking
or even over the last like 3-5
years.
But
if we're talking about going into 2023.
Going into 2023. Yeah, you take it all. You say like, all right, what's his body of work? Where's he at in his career?
Yeah.
How do you feel like he's going to do this year compared to everyone else?
Okay.
And I think I would take him. Yeah, I'd take him over Aaron Rodgers in that Philadelphia Eagles system. Continuity there.
Okay. So, yeah, that just seems more of like a team. The team element does help him as a whole. Whereas when I think of just these quarterbacks, I think of standalone. If I had to put them in multiple situations for multiple teams,
I get that.
Of those guys whose game travels.
I get you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like my only hiccup when I think of Jalen Hurts. I'm like, I love him in Philly, but it's because I love Philly's like system, team, and the supporting cast. But I don't know if I love Jalen Hurts in a different offense like that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely fair.
Yeah.
That's definitely fair. I get what you're saying.
But shout out to my dog Kirk Cousins up here, man. You see what they had him ranked at, bro?
I can't
Don't do that. Kirk
wanted to puke. I will say this though.
You said you wanted to puke.
That Kirk Cousins documentary looks pretty good. The one with Mahomes and Mariota.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Are you being for real?
I'm being dead serious.
Right.
I got nothing wrong. I had nothing personal against Kirk Cousins.
It seems like you don't like Kirk
I've
Cousins,
actually heard interviews with him. I'm like, he's a good dude. He's very self-aware.
Right.
He's an interesting guy. Just laid back, low key, but
he's just a good guy.
Yeah.
Not great, just good.
Yeah, but in terms of my quarterback, that's a different story.
You don't want a good
on
quarterback?
The field.
You don't want a good guy. You don't want a good quarterback. You want a great quarterback. But good quarterbacks are terrible quarterbacks? Is that what you're telling me? If you can't have a great quarterback, you don't even want a good quarterback. If you can't have
probably the worst quarterback.
If you can't have a top 5 guy, Kirk Cousins
is
terrible. If you can't have a top 5, Kirk is terrible. That's you see, that's where it seems personal. That's where
I'm like, paid way too much for average play.
How?
And not showing up in the big moments.
Who's been the better player, Kirk? I ain't doing this today.
We doing the TG?
I'm not doing this today.
This guy or that guy?
We're not doing this today, bro. We're not doing this.
I can do it again.
We're not doing this today. All right, we're not gonna do this today. Let's get to Kenny Pickett and what they had to say about Kenny. We're not gonna go Kirk right today. We're not gonna do that today.
Kenny Pickett, the best quarterback in what was deemed an awful quarterback class. They had him ranked 22, by the way. Pickett performed admirably in his rookie year, even though the statistics weren't necessarily pretty. I guess PFF actually watched his games. His PFF passing grade was good enough to rank 16th in the league, but he finished the season with more interceptions than touchdowns. Pittsburgh's scheme, well, you know some of those interceptions were due to Claypool falling and stuff. Pittsburgh's scheme was toothless and predictable in 2022. And that might be the biggest obstacle standing between Pickett and real improvement in these rankings. And he could have more touchdowns had it not been for some drops. Now, he made an overthrow or two in the red zone, too, but there were some Deontay drops and whatnot. Pickens actually had one, yeah.
I just love how you will shoot at everybody, man. And everybody will get a shot behind these quarterbacks with you, bro. What did I say? Deontay had one. Pickens? Oh, yeah, Pickens had one, too. I remember that one. He had one. Yup, definitely Pickens. Mm-hmm.
I know you like context.
It's like, yo, this is crazy.
You know what? What's weird about this is I'm, like, pleasantly surprised he's at 22. I still think it's way too low.
Yeah.
And we can maybe get into that when we do our actual rankings. I can give a sneak peek of where I'm going to have Pickett. But I still think it's way too low. I think he should be above a lot of these guys, like the guys right in front, like Mac Jones, Russ, Tannehill. I'd keep going up the list. But compared to some of the rankings and lists that I've been seeing this offseason that had to do with quarterbacks, they've been completely disrespecting Pickett. So 22 is not as bad as some of those, and they have him above Brock Purdy. So that's like a little bonus point. But Pickett's still way too low. Way too low for me. Going into 2022, too, when you add that factor in.
For sure.
Or 2023.
Yeah, I wasn't tripping on it. For it to be PFF, I was actually surprised. I was like, man, I thought they was going to do him dirty. I definitely thought it was going to do him dirty. 22 is low-key respectable based off of a national ranking. And what I mean is we know how much we cover the Steelers. We know how much we can legit point to his improvements and point to why we feel so strongly about him next year. Nationally, not everybody is going to have that type of, closeness to the team. So when you talk about some of these rankings, for them to at least feel that strongly enough about him to put him in front of some of these guys who, number one, have dope resumes, but number two, also had dope current seasons, that does show at least that they are acknowledging him and respecting him in that sense. It is interesting, though, that they have him below Mac Jones but in front of Brock Purdy. Because I would definitely have like
they got Tannehill out in front of him too.
I would have them both for the back, but it's just like, how do you have Mac in front of Kenny, but then Kenny in front of Purdy? I'm like, Purdy got hot and did it for a good stretch and gave you some postseason as well. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Unless you're taking into account some of the injury stuff, which would make sense for Brock Purdy and Jimmy G to be behind Mac Jones, Russ right now because both of them dudes are injured.
Yeah, because you're thinking about going into 2023.
Into the next season. Yeah.
Well, they did say Kenny Pickett was the best quarterback in last year's class.
Yeah.
So they viewed Pickett's season better than Purdy, whereas a lot of people in the mainstream are talking about Purdy over Pickett.
I think they're talking about just the class, like going into the draft as a whole. Like Kenny was viewed as the guy out of that class. That's kind of how I took it.
Going into it?
Yeah. Because he was still viewed as like the most pro-ready, the best prospect. Like I think people make the case of which is more impressive, Brock coming in when he did in his run versus Kenny early getting the keys and having to overcome what he had to overcome and then go on his run. I think that context is almost just like, well, what do you prefer? Do you know what I'm saying? You want big or you want small? Like either way, both of them cooked, but he had to do his on a way longer time, with way more expectations, with way more eyes on him, with
basically had to grow with the offense,
right, and way less proven around him. Whereas in San Fran, it was, we already got this thing going, don't crash the car. But he actually came in and showed that he could actually drive, and that's what made him intriguing. But at the same time, context matters. We're not gonna act like Brock. We know when he got drafted. He got drafted when he got drafted for a reason. Like
essentially, for me, I feel like Purdy ain't doing what Pickett did with the Steelers, but Pickett could have done easily what Purdy did with the Niners, if not better.
That's a legitimate case. That's a legitimate argument, and I think that is valid. Because to me, I look at Kenny's scenario when he came in, when he did, and what he had to overcome in that process with all the moving pieces around him. Matt Canada, young George Pickens, Najee in and out of it early on. I think of all of that type of stuff. Offensive line inconsistent as well. And Kenny had to come through and ultimately be the guy to calm all of that in the second half of the season to ultimately lead them how they did. Whereas for Brock, his adversity was different. He still had adversity, but it wasn't in the same manner. It was, yes, we have a number one contender type team, a Super Bowl caliber team. Can you come in here and help keep this thing going the right way because you're already down 2 quarterbacks? So I just think it was just different for him, man. But he still came in and had to produce him. He did, and you win 7 games in a row. You win in the postseason. Like,
oh, you got to give him props.
Yeah, that ain't no fluke stuff.
Nah,
you earned that. But I just think that it was a different scenario. I think Kenny could have came in that scenario, and you're right. I think that he could have thrived in it as well. I don't necessarily think Brock coming into week 3 for the Pittsburgh Steelers last year with everything we had going on, he's going and running the tables like he did. I don't personally see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might have looked a little Duck Hodges-esque.
Oh.
With Brock Purdy.
Now, how'd Doug get a shot today? Like, what Duck?
No, that was a shot at Purdy.
Oh, I was like, Doug with his
that wasn't a
country.
Shot for Duck.
His is the country chick. Yeah, he's the country singer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, man, Duck over here on tour with the country singer, man. Just let him live, man. Just, wow.
I'm not lying. They kind of like have similar body types. They look similar out there. Purdy's a little bit taller than Duck, I think.
Oh God. Okay.
Am I wrong?
No. I know. I was confused. I know who you was talking about. We're good now. We're good. I thought you were saying the young lady and Duck looks similar. I was like, wait a minute, bro.
No.
Thank you. Okay, I'm good now.
No, Purdy and Duck, don't they kind of look similar out there?
To an extent, but Purdy's arm thing looks like bulkier on him.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, you don't see your sleeve? Like,
They got a similar frame.
they do.
Sneak preview for my QB rankings, though. I have Pickett at least above the guy in purple. We'll just put it to you that way.
What guy in purple, man?
I think there's only one guy ahead of him in purple.
No. I need. What color purple you talking about, man?
Oh.
Yeah. What color purple you talking about, man? Make me let on so player.
I might just say yes.
Oh, because I'm gonna say it's multiple purples now. If we talking perp, y'all know me. I like a little granite of perp now. So what perp are you perp 1 or perp 2? Oh, was it all purple? Because there's multiple purples up there.
2 guys.
There's multiple purples up
They're
there,
both in the top 10.
It is multiple purples up there, baby.
I guess I got to answer this now, huh?
I mean, you did tease it.
Do you want to know it to that extent, or do you still want some open-endedness?
I like open-endedness personally. Don't drop it on.
Okay, fine.
I like the open-ended.
Fine. We'll say the guy at 9, the guy that's going to be in the quarterback
2.
documentary.
Yeah,
that's Kirk Cousins.
2.
At least.
There are at least 2.
Pickett is above him in my book. I'm taking him over all these guys. Tua, Dak, Kirk, Watson,
Okay.
Carr, Stafford, Geno, Goff, Danny Dimes, Field. I'm taking him over all of them.
Okay.
So he's at least there.
Okay.
At least. This is just a teaser, though.
Okay.
I didn't solidify him in that spot.
No, you didn't.
I'm just telling you. He's there.
Okay.
He's at least there.
Okay.
And then we'll see my full rankings whenever we drop them.
Okay. I like how you tease, man. I like how you tease, bro. Yeah. If I'm a tease,
Maybe you could say another player if you wanted.
A different color. Let me see. Yeah.
No, I'm saying, did you want to tease your Josh Allen ranking?
What's wrong with the Josh rank? I mean, man, we ain't. Where was he at again? Where is he ranked on this list? I need to see. Is he too low or too high? I might need to move him up, man. Where is he at?
Might be too high for me.
Where is he on this list?
Too high for me.
Where is he on this list? Where is he on this list? You said Josh. What they say about Josh?
They got him at 2, which means for me too high.
What did they say about him? Let's get some context, right? Did they say anything good about him?
All right, let's see what they say.
That's what they say, man.
If Mahomes is the obvious starting point, the next 2 spots are a toss-up between Buffalo's Josh Allen and Cincy's Joe Burrow.
Respect.
Each player is capable of elite play and outstanding levels, but the tiebreaker is Allen's rushing ability. It may not be the deal breaker in every game, but there will be a gotta-have-it situation where Allen is virtually unstoppable because of how many different ways he can beat a defense. Burrow can't bring that to the table. But from what I'm hearing, they're not trying to have Allen do that as much anymore.
Nah, but I know what he's talking about, though. Like, when Mahomes ran in the Super Bowl with the ankle,
right?
Picked like the 20, he talking about that. Joe low-key got some of that, though.
He definitely does.
Yeah. I get what he's saying.
It's more Mahomes-esque, where it's like clumsy. Allen is the better runner out of the 3, I would say.
It's weird, though, because I low-key like Burrow's decision-making a little bit.
Yeah, I would have.
I'm stuck.
I'm not going to reveal any rankings.
Oh, yeah, we ain't doing that.
We ain't doing that. I'm not going to reveal any of my top 10 rankings right now.
Like,
I don't want to.
Yeah, that's going to get real.
Although I did say I would bump Hurts up a little bit. So that's a tease right there.
That would get real. Okay. All right, let me see. All right, let's check the division too, though, man. I want to see what they say.
They have Lamar at 6.
Lamar's at 6.
And
so let's
Burrow at 3.
And Watson was at
13.
11? Oh, 13.
Or 12, right? 13, yeah.
So let's see what they say about Joe.
Burrow led the league in PFF passing grade by fractions in each of the past 2 regular seasons. He has shown that while everybody might be chasing special athletes at the position, just putting the ball in the right place at the right time is still capable of transformative play at the position. Mm-hmm. He's a career 77.1 adjusted completion rate, and his turnover-worthy play rate has gone down in each of his NFL seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's good. I mean,
he's
a good player. Lamar Jackson. Jackson is a former league MVP. He's also coming off consecutive injury-marred seasons and is changing offensive schemes for the first time in his NFL career. Mm-hmm. Greg Roman built a bespoke offense around Jackson, but now Jackson has to adapt his game to a more conventional offense under Todd Monken.
Yeah.
How Jackson fares this season will go a long way towards cementing his position in rankings like these one way or another.
I could see that.
And then Watson.
Yeah, because they were saying that this was a take him back to more of the Louisville style versus what we've been seeing with, the zone read stuff that he's been doing.
Didn't we talk to someone from Georgia at the
Yeah.
golf outing, and they were so
Yeah.
pissed that they lost Todd Monken?
Absolutely.
Am I wrong?
No, you're right. I remember
I talked
the
to
convo,
someone
yeah.
from Georgia, like the Bulldogs recently.
I remember it. I feel like I was a part. I wasn't in depth in the con, but I remember
Was
that
that the
being
outing?
said. Yes, yeah, for a fact. Because that was the words. Like, I can't believe, man, we lost Todd. Like, this sucks. Yeah, I was like, all right.
Deshaun Watson at 13, maybe the hardest player to rank on this list. Watson has one of the widest ranges of outcomes in the NFL. Finished 2022 with just a 55.3 PFF grade after returning from suspension. Didn't noticeably improve as one does if they're shaking off the rust. In his last full season with Houston, he earned a 92.5 PFF grade and was one of the best quarterbacks in the game. I have no earthly idea how good Watson will be in 2023, and neither does anybody else.
I think he'll be better than what we saw last year, just with the full off season, full practices and stuff like that. But
Yeah, he wasn't that good. Like he was. I think he can only go up, and then that's the question: how far up? But
right, like is it 2 years before his back? Is it 1 year before his back? I just know like when you miss football, that's the one thing about this game. Like you got to play it to get better at it. So I do feel like him being back out there practicing, his eyes are going to get up to speed, and the mistakes that he was making, knocking off the rest in games last year, he's getting a chance to knock that type of stuff off now when it doesn't have the same consequences. So, yeah, I don't know how much better, though. But I definitely think he's going to be better, though.
You have any other thoughts on the list? 2 is too high. It's way too high.
2 is tripping, bro. 2 is tripping.
Way too high.
Yo.
I'm taking Stroud over him.
I was
taking
not
Bryce
feeling
Young
it
and
to it,
Stroud
bro.
over him.
I was not feeling it to it. I was good on that.